What's up guys, welcome to a new video. This is Sunny from personalmasteryquest.com and today we're talking about happiness. What I want to kind of dissect today is the long discussed topic of happiness, and I want to get to its true source. A lot of people realize after years of looking for happiness, they find out that happiness doesn't exist anywhere outside. So through countless experiences of people always telling you happiness doesn't exist externally, that happiness is within you, happiness is your natural state, that's all great and all. And we like to believe these things, but somewhere in the back of your mind, you're always like, what does this actually mean? How is happiness within me? How can I just be happy right now without having what I truly want? So that is exactly what I want to explain to you today, and I want to help you get a better understanding of how happiness is your base level, your natural state. So let's take a look at this diagram that I have quickly created. First, look all the way at the bottom. You'll see this black baseline. Now this baseline represents your natural state before anything, any impression on your mind, and any type of external influence. You'll see that your baseline is happiness, joy, natural confidence and security, and well-being. So again, that is your baseline natural state. Now these layers above this baseline represent all of the stuff that you're just carrying with you at all times, which is pressuring down, it's weighing down on this baseline of happiness. And that's why people try to find happiness, because all this stuff is really just covering their baseline natural state. So if you take a look at the first layer from the bottom, which is attachments, these are your attachments to certain end results that you want, maybe from relationships, from your career, from your personal life, anything. Anytime that you get attached to something working out a certain way that you desire and it doesn't go that way, that takes a toll on your happiness. Attachment also refers to you being very emotionally involved in people, positions, material possessions, really anything in the external world that you are very emotionally involved with, you have built an attachment to. And the only thing that we know about the physical world, the only constant is change. And because of this constant flux and change, anything that you get really invested in, that you get really attached to, will eventually bring you suffering as it eventually passes. So this is a huge layer in everybody's lives that is weighing down on this baseline of happiness. Then you have the second layer from the bottom, which is comparison. Now this is your ego's natural need to constantly compare itself to other people and where it stands in society compared to other people. And you can really prove this to yourself right now as you're watching this video. Think about the things that you want. Maybe it's a house, a car, a certain type of accomplishment that you're trying to achieve in your career. All of those things that you desire are a result of the social conditioning around you. The people around you, the amount of money they make, or the amount of standards that they have for their living also influence your standards of living and the amount of money that you want to make and the accomplishments that you want to have. And usually your desires are just a level above what the average around you accomplishes or has. So the ego's need to constantly compare itself to other people and maybe seeing other people in society doing better than itself greatly weighs down on this happiness baseline. Then the next layer, you have expectations. These stem out of attachment, and your expectations are regarding how you want things to unfold in your life. So your mind is constantly trying to control the script. Your mind has a plan for how it wants your goal to unfold, how it wants your life to unfold. And if anything goes off script a little bit, it freaks out and it introduces so much emotional resistance, which weighs down on this happiness. One thing to really note if you want to avoid a lot of disappointment in your life is you can create a goal for yourself, a mental projection for your future, where you want to be. You can choose the destination, but you cannot choose the journey. You cannot select exactly how you will get there. You can't map out your entire journey and expect it to unfold exactly how you mapped it out. If you get attached, if you have a certain expectation of how you want your journey to unfold, then you will be severely disappointed, because usually your journey from point A to point B will never unfold in a logical manner. Look at the success of any great business person, movie star, musician, anybody, artist, anybody. They'll tell you that the things that happened to them on the journey they could have never expected. Usually life offers us so many gifts that we just reluctantly accept or just completely reject on sight because we don't think that they fit our script of how we want things to unfold. So we constantly reject these things, and little do we know, those are the things that are the next step. Those are the things that are going to take us to our goal. So this layer of expectations greatly weighs down on your baseline, because when things naturally don't go according to plan, your mind freaks out, and then obviously it falls into comparison and it just completely ruins your balance. Now, if you take a look at the next layer, this is what I call the false career. And what I mean by the false career is you getting stuck in a field that you don't want to work in. We live in a very conditioned world. You know, you are born, you are told you can be a certain amount of professions. You go through a very rigid, structured schooling system. You know, you're conditioned to go to college after you complete your regular schooling, and then you are forced to get a job. That's what the conventional worldview is. And within the current career fields we have, you are just forced to choose one of those things. What drives you to work in a field that you don't enjoy at all is money. Is the fear of not having enough money and not amounting to anything, because again, you sink into comparison where you are comparing yourself to your peers and how much money they make or they want to make, and what kind of professions will, you know, get you there. So you pick a profession based on money. So what happens is most people spend their entire lives working in fields that are not aligned with their purpose, with the things they're actually good at. And matter of fact, because of their chase of money, they never even explore the things that they are actually good at. So really, this layer is probably the biggest thing, because you spend most of your day at work. You spend most of your life while at work. So if you don't enjoy your work and your work brings you no fulfillment, there's a large chance that that is the biggest cause of your unhappiness. And that just kind of triggers all these other layers more and more. Then the next layer is limiting beliefs. Because you get stuck in a very conditioned society, a conditioned system, a job that you don't enjoy, you start to build limiting beliefs about your abilities. You grew up with big dreams and big goals, thinking that you would accomplish all of the things that your heart truly desired, but then you get stuck in that false career, and a couple of years go by and your mind can no longer map out how you can possibly achieve the goals that you had planned for yourself. So slowly but surely you start to give up on your goals, because you start to form these extreme, strong, limiting beliefs about your ability, about what you think is possible for you. All of these fears kick in, all of the other layers of emotions get triggered. You think really poorly about yourself. You start to think poorly about your life. Again, when you compare yourself to others, you start to look at what they have versus what you don't have. This all takes a toll on your self-esteem, and you just keep giving up on your dreams. And this further accounts for your unhappiness, because it just keeps weighing down on those layers. Now, the next layer is suppressed emotions. These are all of the emotions that you have experienced through your life that you didn't properly deal with. Throughout your life, you've had a lot of experiences. You've had good experiences and bad experiences. Usually we deal with the positive experiences much better because they're pleasant, and you know, we just live through them, we have a good time. But when negative things happen to you, traumatic things happen to you, you don't know how to handle those emotions. You were never taught how to deal with emotions. The reality is, negative emotions are just negative energy that is just passing through our awareness. It is passing through our consciousness. But what happens is, when we come across this negative energy, because we don't know how to deal with it, we end up dealing with it in three ways. One is suppression, one is expression, and one is escape. Suppression is just you kind of ignoring the emotion and just pretending it like it's not there, like it's just gonna go away. What actually happens is it doesn't go away. The energy of the emotion doesn't pass through you. It just stays within your energy field, your subconscious mind. Number two is expressing it. You start to vent to other people around you how much your life sucks and what you're going through. And although this dissipates a little bit of the energy of the emotion, expressing it just makes you kind of stay within that energy field of that emotion. And what it does, eventually you start to ignore it or escape it. And again, it just gets suppressed. Number 3 is you start to escape it. So whenever you're feeling negative, any sort of boredom or any negative emotion, you're just going to try to distract yourself. So a lot of TV, a lot of movies, your social media, your just countless things on your phone, going out all the time with people. All these are means of escaping emotion, and that's usually the 3 ways that we deal with them. So what I like to say often is that us humans are really just a bag full of emotions that, we're just constantly carrying around with ourselves that are just ready to pop off at any second. The longer we live, the longer we continue to pile down these emotions, and it just adds on to the layers, the countless layers of what is getting in the way of our happiness, our natural state. So now you see like all of these layers, and these are just some of the layers that I personally thought of. You could add on so many other layers like fears and anxiety and whatnot, but all of these layers are just getting in the way of you actually experiencing your natural state. What really happens is that you go through life thinking that this is life, that this is you. The person who is being weighed down, the person who's spending so much energy just holding all these emotions down, you think that is natural life. You think that is you, but that is not even close to who you truly are. You will only find your true self once you start releasing and letting go of all of these layers. You find that baseline, which is your true happiness, your true natural state. Here's the thing, you can watch this video and completely ignore this fact and continue your chase for external things and try to derive your happiness from it. But after your crazy pursuit and your however much time you spend doing that, you will come to the same conclusion, is that happiness can never be derived from external things. Anything in the external world, doesn't matter how nice it is and how pleasant it is for a little moment in time, can never bring you that true lasting happiness, because happiness isn't something that's derived from the external world. Happiness is an internal state of consciousness. It is your natural state, and you can only get to it once you start letting go of the stuff that you just piled on and carried with you. All the negativity, all the negative energy that you are really just carrying within your energy body, your subconscious mind. And once you start finally releasing all of this energy, that is when you find that true state. So then now, how do you let go of all of these layers that are no longer serving you? How do you let go of all these negative emotions? So it's a technique called letting go, which is from the book of the same name, Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. And this is a complete game changer. If you haven't read this book, I greatly recommend it. David Hawkins focuses entirely on not accumulating things in the external world, but rather letting go of all the things that are not serving you, because then you come from abundance, you come from your natural state of happiness, and in that state, anything that you want is automatically like much easier for you to achieve. So the technique of letting go consists of many things, and I will be making further videos on this that are more detailed on the process of actually surrendering and letting go. But here's like a quick overall view. First, you have to be aware of what you want to let go of. You have to ask yourself the difficult questions. You have to face the things that you don't like about your past, about yourself, about your body, about your career, about your health, anything like that. Anything that you have been running away from, you have to confront it and face it. And you have to literally just sit down. You have to close your eyes and ask yourself the tough questions. What do I not like about myself? Why don't I deserve to be successful? Ask yourself questions from your childhood. What kind of people did I grow up around? What kind of subconscious conditioning did I pick up? What are some of my limiting beliefs? What do I believe to be true about myself? Ask yourself, what are some things that I don't want to face about my life, about myself? Then also revisit some of the negative experiences of your past and just see what emotions come up. When you ask yourself these questions, just be open to anything. Get out of your head, as I always say, and get into your body and just feel the sensations that these emotions, that these memories bring with them. And all of this emotion that comes up is what you have been carrying for however long, for maybe years. And at that point, don't run away from this emotion. Don't judge it. Don't try to suppress it and shove it back down. Just experience it fully. Be with it. Breathe into it. Just be with it for as long as it's there, and simply just start to breathe in, breathe out, and just let it go. As you breathe in, inhale into the emotion in your body, and then with it in your mind, consciously visualize it leaving your body as you breathe out. This is a process that can be done any time of the day, as many times as you want. And don't just do it with your past memories and the negative things that you think you are carrying on to. Do it anytime you come up against negative things in your day-to-day life. Anytime you are feeling angry or upset, breathe into it, confront it. Feel the energy of the negative emotion trying to pass through your awareness instead of just avoiding it or running away from it. And what happens is that as you just bring your full awareness to it, you just stay with it forever, however long the energy stays in your awareness, the emotion eventually runs out of energy and it just dissolves. It passes straight through you. So you no longer carry it within your energy body going forward to the future. And it no longer acts through your subconscious, and it no longer creates further experiences for you. It is no longer your vibrational set point. So this is a process I will make further videos about, and I want to go more in detail about it. But I am telling you that once you start doing this daily, it is going to really help you just elevate your mood. I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and I can tell you that this has been something that, you know, I'm just remembering things that I had no idea I was holding on to. And, you know, I'm just doing this whole release process, and it's really just affecting my regular state. I feel like my regular state from day to day is just getting better and better and better. I'm thinking more positive. I'm less prone to the negative energy. I encourage you to try this in your day-to-day life and see how it impacts you. As you make this practice a daily habit and start getting rid of all those negative layers that are just weighing down on your natural state of happiness, you'll see that you naturally are more positive. You naturally feel more joyous, more just better overall. All of the pressure of these layers weighing down on your natural state of happiness, your baseline, will be dissolved, and you can finally come back to who you truly are. That is the state where inspiration happens, where creativity happens, where you find your purpose, your passions, the things you enjoy about life. And because so much of your energy will be freed from feeding these emotions, it'll just go from feeding these emotions into your passions. So again, I encourage you to try this exercise. If you have a question about this exercise that you want me to address in the next video that I make on it, put it in the comment section below. But that is all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and share this video with a friend who would also find it helpful. If you'd like to get coached by me one-on-one, the link for that is in the description box below. So make sure to go check that out. But other than that, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.